Ever wonder where your favorite bands wandered off to? Boston, Thin Lizzy, or Steelly Dan were all once part of the mainstream, but soon left the scene. Did Blue Oyster cult vanish into the fog with their cowbell? From UFO to the Runaways, we're digging up where these 70s rock legends disappeared to. And some of their stories are wilder than their lyrics. Boston, the well-known American rock band, began in 1975 in Boston, Massachusetts, with Tom Scholz, a graduate from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and a gifted musician. He built a recording studio in his basement and spent years creating the sound that would shape the band's music. Their debut album, Boston, released in 1976, became a best-selling rock debut and included hits like More Than a Feeling and Peace of Mind. The original members were Scholz, singer Brad Delp, guitarist Barry Goudreau, bassist Fran Sheehan, and drummer Sib Hashian. Delp's strong vocals and Scholz' layered guitar work gave Boston a unique style. Delp died in 2007 and Hashian died in 2017 while playing on a cruise ship. Goudreau left in the early 1980s and later played in bands like Orion the Hunter. Boston still performs with new members like Tommy DiCarlo, who was discovered on YouTube. Boston's unique rock sound changed music history. What made Focus's style so different? Let's discuss that next. But before that, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Focus is a Dutch progressive rock band that started in 1969 in Amsterdam. It was created by Thijs van Leer, a skilled keyboard player, flautist, and singer. The first group included guitarist Jan Akkerman, bassist Martin Dresden, and drummer Hans Kluver. In the early 1970s, they gained fame for their special blend of rock, jazz, and classical music. Their biggest hit, Hocus Pocus, in 1971, stood out with its wild guitar solos and yodeling, making it one of the most unusual songs to reach the charts. The group went through many changes and split in 1978 after several albums. Van Leer and Akkerman got back together briefly in the 1980s, but did not continue. In the early 2000s, Van Leer brought in new members, and by 2024, Focus remains active with 3 new musicians. Focus's unique sound changed rock forever. Can Thin Lizzy's Irish roots match that energy? Let's take a look. Thin Lizzy, the famous Irish rock band, started in Dublin in 1969 with bassist and singer Phil Lynott and drummer Brian Downey. Soon, guitarist Eric Bell and keyboardist Eric Rexon joined them. The band stood out for blending hard rock, blues, and Irish folk sounds. Their big break came with their hit Whiskey in the Jar in 1972. Followed by well-known songs like The Boys Are Back in Town and Jailbreak. Phil Lynott led the group with his songwriting, powerful voice, and strong presence. Sadly, he passed away in 1986 due to health problems linked to drug and alcohol use. After his death, the group stopped recording new songs but reunited with new members. Guitarist Scott Gorham helped keep the band alive, and in 2012 they created Black Star Riders to release new music. Thin Lizzy's mix of rock and folk set a unique stage. Can glam rock's flashy style match that energy? Let's find out about The Sweet next. The Sweet started in London in 1968 under the original name Sweet Shop. They became a popular glam rock band in the 1970s, famous for their flashy clothes, catchy songs, and high-energy shows. The group's main lineup included Brian Connolly on vocals, Steve Priest on bass, Andy Scott on guitar, and Mick Tucker on drums. They gained success with hits like Ballroom Blitz, Fox on the Run, and Love is Like Oxygen.
Love is like oxygen.
Their sound was a mix of bubblegum pop and hard rock, and they appeared regularly on United Kingdom music charts. Brian Connolly left in 1979 and later dealt with serious health and alcohol problems before dying in 1997. Mick Tucker died in 2002, and Steve Priest passed away in 2020. Andy Scott continues the legacy through his band, Andy Scott's Suite, which still performs. From flashy glam rock to intricate jazz rock fusion, can music get any smarter? Let's explore Steely Dan's unique sound next.
Are you reeling in the
Steely Dan started in 1971 in New York when Donald Fagen and Walter Becker, two friends from Bard College, began making music together. They became known for blending rock, jazz, and pop with hits like Reeling in the Years, Do It Again, and Ricky Don't Lose That Number. Their songs stood out because of their smart lyrics, detailed musical arrangements, and use of skilled studio musicians. In 1974, they stopped playing live shows to focus on making records. Their 1977 album, Asia, was a huge success and is still seen as a classic. After splitting up in 1981, both worked alone until reuniting in the 1990s. They won a Grammy Award in 2000 for Two Against Nature. Walter Becker died in 2017, but Donald Fagen keeps touring under the band's name with a new group. Steely Dan mastered jazz rock fusion. Can Uriah Heep match their legendary mix? Let's find out. Uriah Heep is a British rock band that started in London in 1969. The first members were guitarist Mick Box, singer David Byron, keyboardist Ken Hensley, bassist Paul Newton, and drummer Alex Napier. They became known in the 1970s for mixing hard rock, progressive rock, and heavy metal. Their early albums, Demons and Wizards from 1972 and The Magician's Birthday from 1972, used fantasy themes and strong vocals with songs like Easy Livin' and Lady in Black. The group went through many changes. David Byron was fired in 1976 and died in 1985 due to alcohol problems. Ken Hensley left in 1980 and died in 2020. Drummer Lee Kerslake, who joined in the early 1970s, also died in 2020. Mick Box is the only original member still playing with the band, now joined by Bernie Shaw, Phil Lanzon, Russell Gilbrook, and Dave Rimmer. Uriah Heep shaped rock with fantasy and power. Will Grand Funk's raw energy top that? Let's discuss. Grand Funk Railroad began in 1969 in Flint, Michigan, with Mark Farner on vocals and guitar, Don Brewer on drums, and Mel Shaker on bass. Known for their loud, high-energy sound and blue-collar image, they became famous in the 1970s with hits like We're an American Band, Some Kind of Wonderful, and The Locomotion. Their music mixed hard rock, soul, and blues, helping them sell more than 25 million records in that decade. As their popularity grew, tension started to build within the group. Mark Farner left in the late 1990s following a few reunions. The band continued performing with Don Brewer and Mel Shaker, along with new members such as Max Carl and Bruce Kulick. Mark Farner performs with his own band and stays active in music and charity work. Grand Funk Railroad's energy shaped the 1970s sound. Can Blue Oyster Cult's mysterious style top it? Let's see. Blue Oyster Cult began in 1967 in Stony Brook, New York, under the name Soft White Underbelly. A group of college friends started the band with guidance from rock critic Sandy Pearlman. They gained popularity in the 1970s for blending hard rock, heavy metal, and psychedelic styles with lyrics inspired by mystery and science fiction. Their best-known songs include Don't Fear the Reaper, Godzilla, and Burning for You. The original lineup included Donald Buck Dharma Roser on lead guitar, Eric Bloom on vocals, Alan Lanier on keyboards, and brothers Joe and Albert Bouchard on bass and drums. Over time, members either passed away or moved on, including Lanier, who died in 2013. The band still tours and records, led by Buck Dharma and Eric Bloom, along with Richie Castellano and Jules Rodino. Their latest albums appeared in 2020 and 2024. Blue Oyster Cult's legacy-shaped hard rock deeply. Can UFO match that impact? Time to check their story next.
Only you can rock me right.
UFO was a British rock band that started in London in 1968. They were first called Hocus Pocus before changing their name to UFO. The band mixed hard rock with early heavy metal and included Phil Mogg on vocals, Pete Way on bass, Andy Parker on drums, and Mick Bolton on guitar. Their first albums, UFO 1 in 1970 and UFO 2, Flying in 1971, did not sell well, but gained a strong following in Germany and Japan. Their peak came in the mid-1970s when German guitarist Michael Schenker joined from the Scorpions. Albums like Phenomenon from 1974, Lights Out in 1977, and Strangers in the Night in 1979 brought them fame. Songs like Dr. Doctor and Rock Bottom became hits. Still, problems like drug use, fights, and lineup changes held them back. They broke up several times, ending again in 2024 after Phil Mogg retired. UFO faced struggles despite fame. Can Badfinger's story reveal darker band challenges? Badfinger was a rock band that started in 1961 in Swansea, Wales, and was first called the Ivies. They were among the first bands signed by the Beatles' Apple Records in 1968 and changed their name to Badfinger, inspired by the Beatles' working title, Badfinger Boogie. The main members were Pete Ham, Tom Evans, Mike Gibbons, and Joey Molland. Between 1970 and 1972, they had several big hits, including Come and Get It, written by Paul McCartney, No Matter What, Day After Day, all produced by George Harrison, and Baby Blue. They also wrote Without You, which became a worldwide hit for Harry Nilsson and Mariah Carey. Sadly, the band had serious money problems because their manager, Stan Pauley, mismanaged their finances. Pete Ham died by suicide in 1975 after finding out his money was gone, and Tom Evans also died by suicide in 1983. Mike Gibbons and Joey Molland also passed away, leaving the band with no significant additions to the music industry after their initial breakup. Badfinger's story was tragic. Can Ambrosia's smooth sound change the mood? Let's explore.
Nice, nice, very nice, nice.
Ambrosia started in Los Angeles in 1970 with 4 skilled musicians: David Pack, Joe Puerta, Christopher North, and Burley Drummond. They began by playing progressive rock music inspired by bands like King Crimson and the Beatles. Their name, Ambrosia, means nectar of the gods, which fits their smooth and melodic music style. In 1971, they got noticed when they performed at the Hollywood Bowl during a special concert led by conductor Zubin Mehta. They became famous in the mid-1970s with hits such as Holdin' On to Yesterday, How Much I Feel, and Biggest Part of Me, which mixed soft rock with rich harmonies and jazz sounds. Their popularity declined in the early 1980s, and they broke up in 1982. The band reunited in 1989 and still tours, but David Pack left in 2000. The smooth melodies faded, yet a new sound quietly reshaped rock. Ready to uncover big stars' lasting impact? Let's check that out next. Big Star started in 1971 in Memphis, Tennessee, with members Alex Chilton, Chris Bell, Jody Stevens, and Andy Hummel. Although they did not become popular during their time, they are now seen as an important band in American music. Their songs combine British-style pop with emotional words and bright guitar sounds, influencing bands like REM and The Replacements. Their first album, #1 record, came out in 1972 and got good reviews, but sold poorly because their record company did not distribute it well. Chris Bell left the group soon after. The second album, Radio City, was also praised but did not sell well. Their third album, Third Sister Lovers, was recorded in 1974 but released in 1978. It was emotional and raw, becoming a cult favorite. Sadly, Chris Bell died in a car accident in 1978. The band got back together in the 1990s with new members and released In Space in 2005. Alex Chilton and Andy Hummel both passed away soon after. Big Star's story shows music brilliance mixed with tragedy. Can Humble Pie's rise and struggles match that intensity? Let's see their journey next.
Get off the streets, it's shaking.
Humble Pie started in 1969 in Essex, England, with Steve Marriott from Small Faces and Peter Frampton from The Herd, along with Greg Ridley and Jerry Shirley. They were among the first supergroups in the late 1960s, mixing blues, hard rock, and soul to create a strong sound. Some of their early hits were 30 Days in the Hole, I Don't Need No Doctor, and Natural Born Boogie. The band became popular quickly in the United States because of their loud and energetic live shows. Behind the scenes, there were problems. Frampton left in 1971 as the band grew famous and later became a solo star. Humble Pie kept going with a new guitarist, Clem Clemson, but drug use and poor management slowed them down. They broke up in 1975, got back together in the 1980s and 90s, but never matched their early success. Their struggles shaped rock history. Can a female band break those barriers? The Runaways was an important all-female rock band that started in 1975 in Los Angeles, California, created by producer Kim Fowley. The first members were Joan Jett, Sandy West, Sherry Curry, Lita Ford, and Jackie Fox. At a time when few women played rock music, the Runaways were different because of their bold image and strong sound. Their music combined hard rock, punk, and glam styles, and their most famous song, Cherry Bomb, became very popular with teenagers. They did not become very famous in the United States, but they were very popular in Japan, where fans loved their energy and style. They released 4 albums between 1976 and 1978. Behind the scenes, the band had many problems like disagreements, management troubles, and claims of abuse by their manager. The group ended in 1979, but Joan Jett and Lita Ford went on to have successful music careers. Their powerful legacy raises a question. Can innovative guitar duos redefine rock? Let's see how Wishbone Ash shaped their sound. Wishbone Ash started in 1969 in Torquay, England, when Martin Turner, who played bass and sang, joined with Steve Upton, the drummer. They brought in 2 guitar players, Andy Powell and Ted Turner, because they could not decide between them. This created their unique sound with 2 lead guitars, which influenced bands like Thin Lizzy, Iron Maiden, and Metallica. Their first albums, such as Wishbone Ash in 1970, Pilgrimage in 1971, and especially Argus in 1972, were praised by critics. Argus became their most famous album, mixing hard rock, folk, and progressive music. They were known for melodic guitar harmonies and long instrumental parts, making them stand out in the busy 1970s rock scene. Turner left in 1974, and the band changed members many times. By the 1990s, Andy Powell was the only original member left. From chart-topping anthems to quiet retirements and surprise comebacks, these 70s rock legends took some unforgettable and unexpected paths. Which of these bands do you miss the most, and who deserves a comeback tour? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more rock history dives.